Alright, Craig, this is our weekly solo player's guide to the Nightfall. If you're new to the channel, we do this every single Tuesday and Wednesday with all three strikes, all three classes. This is going to be our Hunter Hallowed Lair guide. If you're doing 100,000 solo attempt, good luck. This is, I think, one of the only strikes that I've never been able to get 100,000 solo. I hate this strike. It's not my least favorite in the game at all, but it's a pain to do. So we're rocking Solar Singe and Brawler. If you really want to try 100,000 points, I might recommend obviously Solar and Brawler. You want to put this up well over 100, or at least 100. That's when the multiplier actually starts. I don't know why they don't just go go to 100 and then go from there, so you don't have to click this literally 100 times. But maybe momentum would actually might make this a little bit easier in some bits, harder in others. And iron, I guess. I don't really want to say iron because it's going to make even the boss harder to kill. And extinguish. You probably want to go extinguish if you're going 100,000, because if you die more than a couple times, you'll have to start over anyways. And then as far as setup goes, we are rocking malfeasance. You probably want something like a pulse rifle or a bow or a scout. Something with a little bit of range, but we went with malfeasance because of the combust, the explosive shadow perk. We're rocking last man standing. It's because I think it's my highest. Yeah, it's my highest. Maybe I should have done oxygen and then malfeasance. I don't know. You want something with range and then something for close up for sure. And then I'm rocking avalanche because was an exotic. And it was solar. And then to make this really work, you want the Ophidia Spaith, grants 2 knives per charge, and then we are going to spam the snipe trick. We have 1,000 cuts. That's the one you definitely want to do. Let's go ahead and rock this guide really quick. Once you get here, if you have momentum on, I would honestly say just go ahead and run straight through this bit, because you are going to get a lot of points at the boss fight if you're going for 100,000 points. But if you want to play it safe, you can stay here. Just kill these guys. Just make sure you run backwards so you don't die. Or just run around in a quick little circle. And then this part especially gets a little tricky. There is going to be an elite captain, I think they're called. That guy right there. Arc shield. Be very careful. Those things hurt a lot. And then these guys are going to come up at you. As long as you have your knives going, you should be fine. I would literally just spam your knife barrage playing with fire perk thing if you have Ophidia Spaith. If not, I would probably change this to I don't know. If you don't have Ophidia Spaith, maybe go Grenadier, the grenade perk, and then run it on a Titan. I wouldn't do this, that sounds harsh, but or maybe go Void. But either way, kill this guy as quickly as possible and just kind of clean everything else up as you go. And be very, very careful. There is a sniper up there. I believe he's an elite. He definitely is. He tanked one of those. There we go. And then in this, be very careful of these shriekers also. We'll go ahead and take care of these guys as quickly as possible. And then like I said, you can just run through this bit. Usually if I'm speed running it, I will literally run through this. So if you ever in the strike playlist and you happen to see me just running through, I apologize. I'm trying to get stuff done. But yeah, once these guys are dead, just kind of keep your distance while you're throwing your knives. I don't think it's this next room. It might be. No, this room is actually pretty decently easy. That's the next room. Now go ahead and take all these guys out. If you have to, stay way back. If you have like a sniper or something and you want to rock that against these guys, go for it. But throwing your knives will be a lot faster. And then what I would do is jump up on this middle platform. I don't do it here for whatever reason. And just kill these two snipers from there. That way you are completing the, I was going to say completing the bounty. That's not what we're doing. We are getting this thing down to start the next encounter, as well as keeping our playing with fire chain going. And that way you can still have a few knives you can throw. Because there are going to be a bunch of dudes spawning in right here. So you can either hopefully kill something, which I don't do very well here, or you can run back, and honestly we are going to probably run back here in just a second. Here we go. No, maybe not. But you just want to be very careful and take out everything in here before, I would honestly say before you start dealing anything with the tank. The tank should leave you alone for the most part. And be very careful of those snipers. Those snipers, even though they're doing void, will hurt a lot. But then also save your super if you can. If you feel the need to use it, obviously use it, but if you can hold on to it and save it for the tank, it'll make this fight a lot faster. Like, I wish I hit more of the tank with that, because it would have died before. But what you want to do is make sure you have a 3-stack here, and just spam the holy hail out of your knives until they go away, and then just solar damage whatever's left, and then just run away if it's not dead. If you got a full blade barrage on it, unlike me, you probably killed it already and you're moving on to the next section. If not, come running back, because these guys are going to spawn in. I think they're health gated. But just stand back. I don't think there's any elites to worry about. I don't think there's any more captains or chieftains, whatever they're called. Chieftains, I think, are the Scorn version. But, oh, there are some elites. So be careful of the elites. And then if you can, I'll show you a little trick here in just a second. You can actually get precision damage against the tank with your melee. What you want to do is try and get in some good cover, but where you're still able to at least somewhat see the tank. And just like so, that little round thing right there. And just go for it. I really don't think his neck was out, but kind of looking at it, it might have been. Shouldn't have been, because I didn't do that kind of damage to him, but he should go down. Once he's down, you're in the clear to move on to the next section. There's going to be like 5 guys over here. You should just be able to take them out really quickly, really easily with your knives. Or, power ammo, shotgun, whatever you got. But just like so, just take them out. I think that dude in the middle, yeah, the Wraith, is an elite, so be careful. And then there's another one. He's not an elite. Alright, so in this section slows me up a lot. This room right here is the reason I hate this strike, because I die every time. I don't think I've ever not died in this room in a solo attempt one single time. So let me edit out probably my 5 deaths here and get to a good spot. Alright, so there are going to be 2 elite chieftains, one with an arc shield, one with a solar shield. Be very careful of them. Those arc mines that they blast, as you can see, do a lot of damage. A lot of stupid damage. So what you want to do is try and get them done first. If you have a super, honestly, I would just try and use it on them. You'll get your super back before the boss ever comes back or spawns in, because there's going to be a lot of dudes. Also, those little turret things that they shoot do count as a kill towards your melee ability. So if you have to, you see yourself getting a little low on the count, maybe throw one at that, because they will also spam the hell out of those. But just clear this room before you get on any of the 2 platforms. That's pretty important. Like, that's a life or death decision. Like, if you do only follow me on one thing, clear this room before you start putting these down. And then once you do, go ahead and start spamming your knife ability again. Try and get as much of these guys as possible. Hug aside if you're taking a lot of damage, or if you really have to, just jump off and run back. Like, if you are taking a lot of damage, try and hide and then run, and like until your health starts regenerating, and then run back to the entrance to this room. We're gonna have to do that anyways. And then, ooh, cutting it really close there. This might be a 2nd death, or like a 5th or 6th, whatever. But like I said, if you're taking a lot of damage, just run to the front, or the back where we came in from, and then just try and clear the ads from there. If you're having a really hard time, don't worry about it. I've had to do it. Trust me, it works. It'll at least keep you alive, because we do that for the little boss that spawns in here. And then this one is just the exact same. We're going to do the exact same thing. Clear the ads. Try and get our knife ability going. I don't think there is a new or another chieftain in this particular, on the 2nd platform. So just, keep that in mind. There should just be like the regular drag styled enemies. And then the wait is on until this guy spawns in. Now, honestly, what I would suggest is, instead of waiting for these guys to spawn in, which you can do, which I do, and it works, to clear out some of these guys, what I would do, if you're kind of worried about it, because this boss will hit you really hard. That's why I'm already running. I see him shooting, I'm running back. And try and spam the boss is what I'm trying to do, trying to hit him, and failing miserably. But just take out this guy any way possible. Like, maybe a super would have been good here. And then whenever you get ads spawning in, you can run further back if you get too nervous or whatever, too overwhelmed, because they are going to charge at you, and that boss is going to start shooting at you. So here we go. I would run literally this far back, because otherwise the boss will hit you. Like, if you're any further to the right than I am, you have a good chance of getting hit. I won't say probably, but it's a good chance. And then just clear out the ads as they come at you. Spam your knife. Like I said, if you have your super, you may want to use it instead of holding on to it, but that's really up to you. And then once everything is dead again, we're just going to spam our blades again. There we go. because like I said, our blades are going to be doing a lot of damage really quickly to the boss, to the enemies, to everything. But yeah, for the most part, you should be able to take care of the boss. Might take you a while, but it's definitely doable. And we will move on to the next section. Alright, so once you get here, there is a way where those spinning things are that you can actually just skip this middle section. I would recommend not doing that because everything up there is going to be doing solar damage, and it just makes it easier to run through this area and kill them as you go. Be very careful of these things because they will send you flying, especially if you're running Extinguish. Go ahead and just slowly make up your way. See, there's all the solar damage, those invisible marauders. Just go ahead and take care of them. And then this is another one of those strikes where I say just kill the wanted boss or the wanted enemy. Doesn't take long at all with Brawler. If you're running Grenadier and a Titan or whatever, thermite grenades work amazing. With Hollow Fire Heart, just don't use your super. And then this is pretty much training for the boss fight right here. So go ahead and pick up whatever ammo you can, especially if it's heavy. Be very careful with the snipers. And we will be in the boss fight. Alright, so hopefully you have your super. If not, it could be a little complicated. But we're just going to run back here. Either power ammo him down, use your super, do whatever it takes to get him immune. And then you're going to get a bunch of enemies spawning in. You either want to go to the left or the right, depending on where they spawn in, and just start meleeing. Get those knives thrown. And then he will actually despawn the boss. And once you clear this room, you're going to want to go to the... I prefer the left-hand side, but if you prefer the right-hand side, that's really up to you. That's personal preference. But I like to just come over here while these guys spawn in. This is like the 100 dudes. This is where you're probably going to get most of your points if you're doing 100,000 points. Because there is a lot of guys that spawn in here. There's also going to be one elite... I think the elite chieftain is this round, as well as one of those wraith dudes, the dudes with the torches that run at you. So if you have to, obviously just kind of take a step back or two, and then you can just continue to spam your melee ability. And hopefully you have your super. If you're using 5 super mods, you probably have your super and you can use it against the boss. But if not, don't worry about it. I obviously don't. But just go ahead and kind of hide from him. Like that little spear he shoots will do a lot of damage despite it being arc. And stay out of that arc circle. That will hurt you a whole lot. And then once you are teleported, go ahead and get that shield down as quickly as possible. And of course, we're going to blast our super at him. Which is not probably the best idea since we're about to get tethered and teleported. But if that happens, try and get as many guys as possible down. And then I like to just come running over here, which turned out to not be a good idea. But it works. Just pick a side and go to it. The right side can have a bit more cover, but there's also less room. And which means if you get caught in that arc circle area of effect thing, you're probably going to get hit and it gets really dicey, which is why I prefer this side that we run into now. There's less cover, but there's more room to take cover in, if that makes sense. And then we're just going to keep doing the damage to the boss until he despawns again. And then we're just going to do the same knife throwing thing, or the grenade throwing thing, depending on what you're rocking. If you're a warlock, void walker, slova bomb, I think it's the top tree with Skull of Dire Himkara, you will destroy this section, this boss fight. I would go Grenadier and Void, obviously. But yeah, just stay here just like before until you see the abomination thing spawn in. And the reason why you want to pick a side and get kind of close to it like this is so they don't come running around behind you. As long as you stay up pretty close to these stairs, you should be able to just spam them like this and not even have to worry about them coming up behind you. If they come up behind you, you're kind of screwed, so just keep that in mind. And then we're just going to do damage to the boss again, which is already coming over here this time. And we just want to spam the melee ability on the boss. But always try and leave one stack. Like if you're getting low on your timer for your melee, try and save, try and stop. Like you get 1 or 2 seconds. Definitely just hold on to your stacks. That way you have them for when these guys spawn in. But once you do, go ahead and start dealing damage to the boss again until I think he goes immune and tethers you one more time after this. And then there's just going to be a couple more waves of enemies. And you're just going to slowly take them out and then finish off the boss. So I'm going to let the rest of this video play out. Hopefully this guide helped you out. If it did, awesome. Hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. The other two are going to go up tomorrow. That's Wednesday. Hopefully if everything goes right. And as always, stay positive, be happy, be healthy, live long and prosper, and have an amazing week.
feel it. The light is back. We're back. Eyes up, Guardian.